Hi, everybody.
You can do this. One of the most used phrases ever to motivate people to do things they never thought were possible. But what does it really mean? Does it take into consideration my disability? Does it take into consideration my finances? I've asked these questions over and over as I've grown up. The only answer I've come across that makes any sense is another question. Do I have the willpower to do this? It's not about what we struggle with. It's not about what we don't have. It's about what we do have. And we have willpower. We have love and support from friends and family. We want to see things and experience things. We are not traveling with disabilities. No, we are traveling with special abilities. So come, join us with your special abilities.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? I'm waiting for a few people to come in. I want to thank everybody who's new to my channel. Yeah, we're having a great time. Getting back to some of the stuff that we had been doing for quite a while. I took some time off. It's been a rough year this year. I just can't wait for everything to be, to settle out and be a little bit back to normal. Oop, I'm playing, sorry. So, even though I have no audience yet, I think I'll just go along here and see who's here. Oh, hi, William. I'm just playing around until I can figure out what I'm doing here. Sorry, William. Yeah, I'm Ghost Lorraine. I had to go to the bathroom. You're back on a normal person's life. Yes, you are a person. It's not. You're not showing up there. I don't know why. If you look at my counter, it says 0. So I didn't see you, and I was playing with the banners and brand and everything, and so I couldn't see that you were there. I don't know what's going on with my curtain. Don't mind the person behind the curtain. So my daughter liked all your artwork, William. You can come up if you want to. Let me finish comments. Let's see. Let me make sure I even got it. Oh no! What did I do? Here I am. Oh, there you are. Now it says that you're here. I find bald girls beautiful. Well, see, I'm losing hair here again. Getting really like, this is like looking in the mirror. I'm getting really going way back over here. And then over here, it's going way back over here. Let's see, where, let me just, oh, that ain't it. I don't know. It's not coming up anyway. Whatever. I can't post the link in chat for some reason. I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting for everybody to show up. So yeah, so this is like a hairpiece. Rebecca's at work. She's doing inventory. So I'm kind of waiting for where to guess. Oh, here we are. Copy to clipboard. Aha! I figured out how to do it. There we go. Now it's up there in chat. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, it's gone. Okay. I don't know. Hopefully that's good enough. So you can come up if you want to. So tonight we're going to, well, it says 2 people are here. Let's see who else is here. Hello, hello. Who's here with me? So that was quite the conversation over in Ron's chat. Never know what they're going to talk about over there. Who's lurking? Come up. Say hi. Michael Ann. Is it you, Michael Ann? I invited quite a few people. So I guess I'll just start yakking. I'm good at that. So we're going to Disney, so I figured what better thing to do than talk about some Disney trivia. I don't know how many people of my audience realize that we didn't start out as a Disney channel. Hi, William. We didn't start out specifically as a Disney channel, but I love Disney. So I have some Disney trivia. Disney trivia from the Vault. I'm not paid by them. I don't sponsor them. But they're a great resource, and it's a good book for everybody who's really into, here's the back of the book, for everybody who's into Disney trivia or old-time Disney facts, and we love that. So why don't I begin with a kind of like a story of my Disney journey. I grew up I was born in 1962. My dogs are going to bark now. I was born in 1962. And so I kind of grew up with the Mickey Mouse Club, stuff like that. And then we had a local celebrity called Rex Trailer. He had a children's show called Boomtown. Now, Rex Trailer originally came from Texas, and he was a rodeo star, and he could rope and everything. And he got tired of being in the rodeo, tired of working on ranches and stuff, so he wanted to be an actor and learn how to act. So he went out to Hollywood, and that was the time when a lot of westerns were being made, and a lot of stars like Clu Gulager, John Wayne, Hopalong Cassidy, some of the older than me, cowboys and movie stars, and the cowboy and Indian shows and stuff. I grew up on, kind of satire ones like F Troop and things like that, and the wagon train movies, about the settlers going west and the gold rush and all that. So Rex Trailer spent quite a long time. I have his book too. I really should quote from his book. I don't have it out where I can grab it. It's the history of Boomtown, the history of Rex Trailer. And I do have a photo of Rex Trailer that I could put up, but I'd have to search for it. I didn't have it waiting for me. You know what I mean? So anyway, so Rex Trailer became a pretty good movie star in his own right. And then I'm trying to remember why he got a deal with one of the radio stations. I want to say RKO, but I'm not sure. But he ended up in Boston, in a suburb of Boston, and then met up with the producers there, and they said, well, we're specializing in early Saturday morning children's shows, and would you be interested? And he goes, yeah. And he learned how to be a director and all that, and so he started up a TV show called Boomtown, where he would select children to be in the audience and have games and puppet shows, Punch and Judy, stuff like that. He had a guy named Pecos Bill. Pecos Bill? I forget. And then Sergeant Billy O'Rourke, who played a banjo and sang along with them. And Rex had his own songs that he had composed and everything. And he had quite a long career. He ended up teaching at Emerson College and doing tours. He actually even transported a silverback gorilla in his helicopter from one zoo to another zoo so that they could have a breeding program. So yeah, he was quite the long storied past. So during the time that he had Boomtown, he decided that he liked doing things for children. He liked helping children out. So he got together with Crimson Travel Service and came up with trips to Disneyland in California. So they would go, and children would be able to have their parents book a trip to California with him, and he had chaperones and all that. Wait a minute, let me yell. So between him and Crimson Travel, and they advertised on local TV stations and stuff. So for quite a long time he did that, and at 13 I talked my parents into allowing me to go. So I got to go to Disneyland, and we went to Knott's Berry Ghost Farm. We went to San Diego Zoo. We saw San Clemente, where President Nixon lived. We went to see the Queen Mary in dry dock, because that's where it is. So we got to go have lunch on the Queen Mary, which was pretty awesome. We went to Universal Studios, and that's where I met Clu Gulager and Randolph Mantooth, the one of the stars on Squad 51. And did the backstage tour. And then on our way out, we got to go through, in the parking lot, just happened to be Lucille Ball and her trailer. She was doing something with Desilu Productions, her production company. And so they're like, how would you kids, it was like a small group of us. I think there was like 20 kids. How would you like to meet Lucille Ball and walk through her trailer, but you can't touch anything? Because she had, you walk in the door, and on the right was all her mink coats and her rhinestone dresses and all her high-heeled shoes, then her makeup and her bedroom. And so it was like in the front door, down the trailer, and then out the back door. And she would say, "Hi, it's nice to meet you all. Keep your hands to yourself." I will never forget that. She's like, "Yep. Hi." She's kind of looking at us like we're a bunch of sniffle-nosed rugrats going through her stuff. And she had this sort of panicked look on her face. "Hey, Linda Oki. Hi, welcome in. Nice to meet you. I'm going to finish my story and then tell us a little about yourself. You're new here, right?" So she looked at us like we were a bunch of little runny-nosed, snot-nosed kids who were going to touch her white mink with our dirty, grubby hands or steal one of her lipsticks or something. But it was an honor to meet her, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, look, a redhead! You know, another one with red hair. Watch out for her. She's redheads are the bomb." You know, well, she didn't say the bomb because they didn't say bomb back then, but she goes, "The redheads are gonna rule the world." Yes, you are new. So that's how I got to meet Lucille Ball, and which I come home, my mother was very, very jealous. So then after that, Rex Trailer continued to do that for many years, and then he taught film production and acting at Emerson College until he passed away. Um, I did do some acting with him, well, acting slash singing, for the Jerry Lewis Telethon, and my daughter did a concert with him at an opening of a mall in the area. So we kind of have, I'm in one of Rex Trailer's, the memoirs, a picture of me crossing Anaheim Boulevard, going from the hotel into Disneyland. So I used to be a child model and did a little bit of acting. I did a commercial and some magazine work. So yeah, Lynn the Okie, hi. I'm a traveling channel. We go to Disney a lot. We do cruises a lot. I'm disabled, hence the traveling with special abilities. And you know, we try and let people know that no matter what your disability, oh, you came from Fordman, Kenny Oaks is my little buddy. We are like this with partner channels. Um, and yeah, I'm bringing Kenny to Disney World after he goes on the cruise, Lynn. Um, so I try and show people that there's a lot that you can do, even if you have like anxiety or depression or things like fibromyalgia, or my son is got different things. My oldest daughter has bipolar. I have a daughter who's has a little bit of autism. Well, my son has a little bit of autism. So he's a little bit on the spectrum. He's kind of learned to cope to a point where he's so functional you wouldn't even know that he has it. So yeah, we you know, no matter what's going on, like people have things that they're, you know, anxiety, phobias, you know, whatever it is, you're safe here, you can talk about it. We actually truly care, we love people, and we don't discriminate, and we won't put up with bullying. So if you're here to bully someone with disabilities or someone who doesn't quite act the way you like it, too bad. You know, there's the door, you know. That would be like, you know, I'm not going to let anybody pick on me. I'm not going to let anybody pick on anybody with any kind of disorder or disability or, you know, problems, whether it be depression, grief, loss of a loved one. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody's loved equally here. So I'm glad Kenny sent you over. Tell us a little about yourself, Lynn, if you don't mind. I talk fast and I talk a lot because I'm ADHD. So I have to remember to slow down and shut up sometimes. Let people talk. Yeah, I suffer from panic disorders and anxiety, and yeah. And I'm not, you know, I'm not afraid to talk about, you know, what's going on with me. People don't like it too bad. You know, the whole world has, nobody's perfect. There's no person out there without something wrong. You know, everybody has something. people seem to forget that everybody has something. Oh, you have a channel. Well, awesome. When Kenny comes up, when Kenny comes, I made myself freeze. When Kenny comes up, we'll have him drop the link to your channel for you. We promote each other. We promote each other here. We want to see everybody grow their channel, everybody be able to experience YouTube in a fair and equal way. And everybody has something to give this, you know. So that's what our special abilities are. We're like superheroes. That's how how I see it. Kenny's a superhero. William's a superhero. I'm a superhero. My daughter is a superhero. Anybody with any kind of thing, they have, okay, I'll put it this way. Oh, you posted a video yesterday. Well, you know what? When Kenny puts it up, I'm going to sub to you and I'm going to check out your video. I love taste tests. So you do taste tests like Kenny. We do restaurant reviews of all the restaurants we go to, and it's a taste test, but it's also, letting you know where we're going, what kind of restaurant it is, what it's like, and how their food is, so that you know where the bathroom is. Is it wheelchair accessible? Can you get to your table with a wheelchair? Handicap accessibility is an important part, because I know Kenny's walker can't fit down a lot of places, and when Kenny uses my wheelchair or even a scooter, when he rents a scooter, it's hard to get into places. And so the more we make it obvious to these places that they need to accommodate disabled people, the more accessible they'll make their establishments. They'll realize that they're missing out on a giant portion of money that they could be getting. Not to pick on NASA Bahamas, but if you go, and I know it's historical building, it's hard, but if you go to Nassau, downtown Nassau, instead of going over to Atlantis, and you go down the main street of Nassau, Bahamas, it's nearly impossible in a wheelchair. I tried to do the Queen's Staircase, even to get there. I needed something that out of the grocery store. I had to be in my wheelchair in the street practically, because the sidewalks are 3 feet high because they get flood waters. So they can't have the sidewalks the same height as the street. Gardening, fishing, learning, like I said, a little bit of everything. I do gardening and I love fishing. We do a little bit of everything too. Like I had a flower shop. It was called Lorraine Serendipity because we had a little bit of everything in it. So because of that, I wasn't able to go in the store, and my daughter had to go in and get stuff for me and then come back out just to get a drink, just a Gatorade or, a soda. And it's like, okay, what if I was by myself? What if I was by myself? Would I have to pay a cop? Because it was a police officer, a lady police officer, standing on the corner, kind of directing all the cruise traffic people around. And like, who would I get to go in the store and buy me something to drink before I got dehydrated? If I forgot to bring my water, or I didn't have my daughter to go in there and get me a water. What do elderly people do there? They have to hire a boy to go to the store for them because they can't do the hike or they're unable. What are these people? How do these people manage when they're elderly or disabled it makes you wonder how people. Now, I don't want to say that NASA is a third world country, but you get far enough away from that cruise ship dock, basically a third world country. And they get the income that they get from those cruise ships. It's like they put it into resorts on the beach, but the downtown looks like they haven't touched it in a million years. It's it's bad. It smells like urine. You can't. In between the stores is alleyways that smell horrible. Oh, thank you, Kenny. Are you going to come up, or is Ron still going? What would Kenny do? If Kenny went by himself and he didn't want to go to the tourist trap part, over to Atlantis and over that side of the island, and he wanted to see some of the historical parts of the island, what would he do? Where would he go to the bathroom? If people are peeing in between buildings, where do you go to the bathroom? Oh, okay, thank you. Non-handicapped people, or non-physically handicapped people, I should say, don't think of that. They go on vacation and they're like, well, I just jump in a van and I get to go wherever I want, or I catch an Uber. What do handicapped people do if they don't want to do what everyone else is doing? We're going on the cruise, and not to pick on the cruise. This is not a slam against cruises, because I love cruises. We had to actually logistically figure out. Amy has gone to an island that we'll be going to again, and she got to pet monkeys. Now, this time she wants to go up the waterfall, which is a climb and hard to get to, and see the waterfall and pat the monkeys there. And she's like, you and Kenny couldn't do it. And we're like, well, how can we get to see the monkeys then? And she's like, well, you're going to have to just go to what she did originally was go to a place that they congregate in town or whatever and see the monkeys in town. And then I'm wondering, I wonder what town's like. I mean, I've seen pictures. It all looks like cobblestone streets and level ground, not like NASA, where you get off the ship and you're going up the side of a mountain as soon as you get off. I don't know if people realize that, but you get up the cruise ship out of that port area, it's straight up mountain. It's like, so you're trying to figure out, as a disabled person, how do you beat some of these obstacles? And how do you beat these obstacles when they're not helping provide access? And I know Europe has got quite a lot of places. They don't accommodate handicapped people. It's like, no, you're like second-class citizens. We don't. But you know what? Our money's as green as everyone else's, or plastic. I guess Australia has like a vinyl kind of plastic see-through money. I can't wait to see that. I'm intrigued by different kinds of money. I grew up in Massachusetts, but my family's from Canada, so we go to Canada every summer, and it was like Monopoly money. It was the Queen's face in a bunch of funny-looking colors. It was like, whoa! And American money's worth more than Canadian money, so it was like, oh, I take my allowance and it almost doubles. She's seen a service dog seen a video that a service dog and hospital, and they would not let the dog stay with them. Where was that? Because it's against the law in the United States. I think that's almost against the law in most countries. If you look through my videos, and some of my photos, we took my dog to Nassau, my service dog to Nassau. In America, they try to do that, but they really can't. I know you see, when you have a service dog, now not everybody does this, but it's common knowledge. You need to wash your dog before you go out. Like, the dog needs to be clean. And no fleas, no bugs, all its vaccinations, everything. Because I used to take my service dog to help the elderly. She was also a companion dog for the elderly. So I would take her into nursing homes. And she couldn't have fleas or ticks or dandruff or, you know, be in the middle of a shedding spree. But she was a Great Dane. You know, there's grooming parameters, let's put it that way, that you're supposed to adhere to when you have a service dog. A service dog is a lot of work. You know, and a lot of people think, you know, and a lot of people take advantage of the fact that, you know, there is no certification, no matter how many people try and scam you guys who think there is. If your doctor deems it necessary and he gives you a prescription that it's necessary for you to have a service dog, as long as they're trained, manner trained, you know, like sit, stay, don't bark, only bark when they're supposed to bark. They're whatever their abilities to provide your service that you need, as long as they're capable of performing those duties, they don't have to be certified. There's no licensing or certification that you have to pay for. There are trainers that can help train your service dog, and you pay for that. But if they give you a certificate, that certificate is garbage. It's not worth nothing. So to just waste your money to have some fake document saying, oh yeah, my dog's a certified service dog, that's baloney. That's a rip-off. That's a scam. Your doctor, when my dogs were trained, I brought them back after my doctor wrote the prescription, and they were trained on brought back, and my doctor checked to see if they provided the William, you don't have a channel, do you, hon? No, William doesn't do content. He's a supporter and an artist and a very creative mind, and very smart, and a friend of mine. Yeah. So he's a good guy. And he gets along good with my daughter. They're both creative. They're both artists. They have the same taste in art. My son too, actually. So yeah, the myth of service dogs. You know, people will say anything, you know, that they try and get your money every which way but Friday. But so my dog went back to the doctor, proved it when I was going to have a seizure. She would warn me, and I would be able to take my medication so my seizure wouldn't be as bad. And And that's what the dog, the service dog I had at that time was a seizure alert dog. And I brought her on the cruise. She's gone to Disney. She's gone to the Bahamas. She's gone to, traveled everywhere with me in airplanes. She didn't have to be specially crated or put anywhere other than either between my legs on the floor where she could lay down or up in my lap. Had she been a bigger dog, she would have to fit on the floor, or if she was too big and couldn't fit on the floor. What? Are you trying to show me something, William? Or are you just...
I'm typing.
Are you typing, hon? Okay. Here's my girl right now. This is my other girl. She lets me know if I'm, like, getting too crazy. So, like, if I had a Great Dane, okay, she was my service dog too. She was a seizure alert dog too. And when I would have a seizure, she would lay under my head, put her body under my head, hold my head from smashing around on the ground. And she would put her head over, so her body would be under my head, and she would drape her muzzle over my shoulder, over my heart. And she would, like, help me calm down to get over the seizure and prevent me from hurting myself. Now, when I took her everywhere too, but she knew how to, she would turn herself in a circle and make herself as small as possible. And so we'd go in a restaurant and she'd go under the table and twist herself up in such a tiny ball that, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's how do you run into people like that? Do people come and tell you that they see this kind of stuff going on, and is that what happens, William? Or are you just out cruising around and happen to run into people like that or animals that are in need? I mean, you seem to look like, we got it bad here. They throw animals away left and right, but you seem to see a lot of the really bad abuse. Is it just where you live, or? Yeah, I'll look. Oh, at work. At work. Well, that's horrible. I'd get to a point where I'd be afraid to go to work for what I might find. So the Great Dane would almost origami herself into such a small ball that I'd eat dinner, would be all done and everything, and I'd tell her to come out, and she'd come out and, like, unfold herself. Yeah, sometimes you have to call 911 if they're not responding, if it's gone on too long or they get hurt. And it's best to get checked up after a seizure, because sometimes the residual effects causes amnesia of a seizure, causes you loss of awareness for such a long time that you never know when it could turn into a permanent sort of amnesia. And seizures can cause heart attacks and strokes. So though I don't advise letting a person go real long or anything, they do need help, so it is a good thing to call 911. So yeah, so my dog was taught, and people would be surprised that this Great Dane would, like, out from under the table. She went on rides with us and sat under the part of the ride that, like on trains, you know, like the trains that go through amusement parks. She'd be under the seat. People wouldn't even know she was there. And the tiredness too. Yeah. I have, there's a picture in my intro. I don't think you saw my intro, Lynn, where it's a picture of me laying down. I have a black striped shirt on, and my service dog is smiling and sleeping. And I'm laying there, my eyes are all bloodshot, and it was because she saved me from having a grand mal seizure. I got to take my medicine in time so that it ended up being a mild seizure instead of a grand mal seizure. And she knew, my dog knew, and was so happy that she saved my life. That dog saved my life so many times. And then when she was 10 years old, she passed away of congestive heart failure, my dog. So she had a great life. She's gone on a Disney cruise. She's gone to Disney World. She's been up the Smoky Mountains. She's been through Tennessee and all the way up to Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire. And she's been to, where else? Williamsburg, Virginia. We went to Busch Gardens. Yeah, she's, and then when she got older, she didn't like going for rides anymore because with the congestive heart failure, it just made her too nervous. And we went through a hurricane and some tornadoes together too. So, yeah. Gee, I'm kind of waiting for everybody to come. Robots, they should be coming soon. They get yakking. They get yakking. They definitely do. But yeah, so Lynn, taking after the cruise, I'm taking Kenny to Disney World, and we ought to have a good time. Oh, I haven't seen you on Kenny's live show or anything, Lynn. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, William, there's good and bad. Cops, there's good and bad. Medics, there's good and bad. You know, if they're used to people, if, you know, I try and trust the people who are in service to us, like police and medics and firemen. I have a hard time trusting everyone in every town. It can be an issue. I would not want to be the wrong person in the wrong place. Let's put it that way. Oh, you were there earlier. This morning when he did his live this morning. I was there for a while and then I had to take a nap. When So let's see, what else can I explain about? Yeah, so yeah, it will be a learning experience for Kenny to be on a cruise. It's his first trip. A lot more obstacles and a lot more tight elevators, crowds that he's not used to having to weave in and out of crowds. On a ship, it's so overwhelming just to get from one place to another on a cruise ship. We'll see. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. I know it's going to be restful and peaceful for me. We've had such a bad winter. I come from Texas, and last year we lost our electric. All our food went bad, and all that. And then COVID happened, and we couldn't get half of what we needed. And now this year is kind of bleh. So 6 months from now, we're going to be ready for a vacation. I know I will be, definitely. You don't desire to go on a cruise ship. Well, they're fun. There's a lot to do. I like them because I don't have to cook. The food is usually really, really good. You get to sit out in the sunshine, and then you get to go to countries you never could have gone unless you went individually, which is very expensive. So going on a cruise and be able to get off at Aruba and Cozumel and La Romana and the Dominican. I never thought I'd get to go to the Dominican Republic. And then a girlfriend of mine owns a condo in Aruba and has talked about Aruba for years. I've never got to do that. This will be my first cruise that's not a Disney cruise. I'm a Disney fanatic. I really am. But we were on cruise ships going from America to Canada. My whole life growing up, to go to Canada, we had to go on a ship. So I was forever going on a ship. Okay. I'll see you later, William. Be safe, okay? Lynn, if you want to come up, the link is in the chat. If not, I'll put it in again here. There you go. You can come up, and it's just me right now, so you can come up and just chat. I don't bite. I don't have no makeup on. I don't look fabulous or anything. It's just me in my bed with my dogs. It's funny, at night I don't bother trying to look extra special. Sometimes during the day or on when I do vlogs or take a vlog or something, I'll go in the studio with my green screen and my microphone and makeup and hair done. And girls stuff and all that. Here it's at night. I'm just here late night for all those insomniacs to have something to listen to be able to relax and know there's someone around.
Hey.
Hi. How are you? Nice to meet you. Oh, look at you. You look like you're my age. It's funny you don't how you see a name and a title or a name and a channel name, and you kind of try and form an image of what the person's going to look like, And it's like I thought you were like maybe you're 30, Kenny's age, 27, 30, and that you were
Thank you. My son's 25.
My youngest is turning 29, so she's a year older than Kenny. My youngest. Hey, Roy and Becky. Are both of you awake, or is it just Roy this time awake again? Becky's sleeping. You want to come up, you guys, or even Roy, as long as you're not waking up Becky, you can come up.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of lives, but I don't want to do a lot of lives, so I'm going to do a mix between pop-up lives and the videos. I done that one video I uploaded, it was actually yesterday I uploaded it, the 31st of March.
Yeah,
But the
it's
video
April
was
Fool's
actually
now.
made before that, and I just uploaded it yesterday. And so,
Well, I started out with my channel in 2018, and we didn't do any lives at all. In fact, we did have a couple of friends of ours who did lives from there, from like the Disney warehouse and stuff like that, or a home live, you know, talking about Disney, and they had all their Disney stuff on the walls behind them in bookcases, you know, to show off what they bought and everything. Um, uh, um, I'm thinking of their name, but I can't think of it. Bob and Ashley. Um, and then I watch Paging Miss Tomorrow and stuff like that. But and Tim Tracker and his wife Jen, and they do a live, and they also blog every day. But I didn't want to do that, and so we just did videos for the first couple of years, and then I got real sick. I have a lot of medical issues, so we kind of just dropped off the face of YouTube for quite a long time. So then to get back, I have anxiety issues, so to get back to feeling comfortable again, I started doing late night with Mike, traveling Mike, and doing for him. And that was almost every night that I did that for a couple of months. And then I got to know people like Kenny and everybody that I know now from this group. And then I started posting more videos and doing more lives. And then I had from like Thanksgiving to Christmas this year, I just had a really rough time of it again. And well, not medically, but emotionally, depression, anxiety. People were dying left and right. The political scene was bothering me. So I took another kind of emotional break, and now I'm just getting back to, normal, back to the routine again. And Kenny's been helping me through it. So, for a little guy, he's got a big heart, and he knows how to listen, and he's down to earth. This is one of my dogs. She's being trained to be my service dog. When she feels my anxiety go up, that's just my puppy. She wants to play. When Constance feels my anxiety getting to be too much, she gets up in my face and lets me know. But then I got this puppy. Ugh. She's half Chihuahua and half Rat Terrier. And she loves her mummy to death, and she's jealous, and she's not even a year old. And she just they want to cause trouble and fight over it. So,
yeah, me, my mom, my son, and my son's papa, we all have disabilities. Theirs are similar, and mine's a little different. Um, so, and I got off YouTube from October last year. I dropped off YouTube, and I sometimes it's just that time of year that makes me emotionally drained. So I don't do much that time.
Yeah, that's what mine is it's like a seasonal depression and PTSD because my ex-husband would start. He was very abusive, but he got worse from like Halloween through the kids' birthdays. So it would be like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, my birthday in February, into the kids' birthday in March. So those months, he literally berated us and tirade us and abused us more extra during those months that the PTSD, even though I've been away from him for almost 20 years, that PTSD and that anxiety and trauma still comes up and just emotionally just destroys me and the kids for half a year, for 6 months out of the year. And even with medication and therapy, it is. And then if anything else happens on top of that, like I had a bunch of friends pass away or a family member is going through something, it just magnifies the whole thing. And then I get so that YouTube, some people will say something and maybe I'll take it wrong, or maybe I'm not even taking it wrong, and I feel like they're being unfair or mean, and I'll just totally shut down and I drop off YouTube. I'll watch people, but I'll watch Kenny, or I'll be in the chat for Kenny. I try and support Kenny. I'll support people who are nice, and but like you get burnt out extra. You know what I mean? So I know what you mean. Yeah, those are high stress times as it is the holidays.
Hey, Roy and Becky Travels. Yeah, I missed y'all too.
Well, I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad that Kenny recommended you come. And I know right now we're talking on YouTube in public, but if you ever need me to talk or whatever, or just someone to listen, all my contact information is usually in the description below. I'm a Christian minister and a psychologist, and I'm pure at heart. I'm a good friend. I'm loyal. I mean, watch some of my videos, and I tell it how it is. You know what I mean? I don't I don't beat around the bush. That kind of girl. If I got an issue, I'm gonna say something. Kenny must have figured we're kind of similar in a lot of ways, and yeah. So I just want to help. I'm terminally ill, and so I don't say that for people. People go, "Oh, why do you even say that?" Well, I say it not to shock people and not to make people feel bad for me. I tell people because I'm here to serve God, and I got a limited time to make friends and help people. So I kind of feel like I'm in a rush, in a way, to be the best person that I can be for people who need me. If that makes any sense to anyone.
It makes plenty sense.
The more people, I'm blessed to be here, so I think I'm working on borrowed time. And God didn't save me from all the times that I should have been passed away to waste my time in idle baloney. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm here to help people for something. God don't give people chances for no reason. So maybe I'm wrong about what God's purpose or he had in mind for me, but this is what I think I'm supposed to be doing. I could be dead wrong, but you know, I want people to be to enjoy the amount of time that they have. You know, I've had people say, well, you know, basically everybody's on borrowed time and, you know, they could drop dead tomorrow. Well, yeah, don't you want to make their now, their present, as good as possible? That's why
Yeah.
it's a gift to be present. You're getting a present. A future ain't guaranteed for no one. I realize that. So be the best person you can in the present and be a present to your fellow man. Be a gift to someone else.
Have you ever been to a cowboy church?
A Catholic, I was baptized Roman Catholic.
You haven't ever been to a cowboy church?
A Catholic, yeah.
It's a cowboy church. Basically, what basically people go in there. You know, they don't necessarily go home, get dressed, and they just go. They go from like the field to the church, and they wear their cowboy hats and boots and stuff. And
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm in Texas right now. Yeah, we we show up in whatever we show up in just as long as we get there.
yeah, that's the type of church I go to. And my and I don't ever get on YouTube or Facebook or anything on Friday nights because that's what church is. I go to church pretty much every Friday night, and I show up early. And we have, and after service we have a supper and then someone else they do they some some of them help the pastors, the my church. The husband is the music pastor, and the wife is the one that preaches the service. And so they both went to Rhema. Have you ever heard of Rhema? It's a Bible school here in Oklahoma.
I probably have, yeah.
Well, they both went there. She went there first, and then he started, and he was what do you call it? He when she he she graduated, and he was still in Bible college, and he didn't graduate until like 2 years after her. So, and that
Yeah, I went to seminary out in California, and then if I wanted to become a monk, I would go to the monastery in Arizona. And I've been a minister since 2004. But I was a church elder at my other church since I'm 60 years old, so way back. Many, many years in church. But originally I was a Catholic, born Catholic, Roman Catholic, and baptized Catholic because that's what my father was. But then I went out and learned what the word that I felt more comfortable with. It's the simplest way I can say it, you know.
yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that, you know, too many places shun away people that they don't necessarily think is doing the right thing all the time. But how do you bring someone into the fold if you don't show them what being a good Christian is? You know, if you don't teach them how people don't know how to be a Christian necessarily. You gotta be a shining example. And if you're not being a shining example and you're pushing people away that got issues, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta. It's hard because so many people believe so many things nowadays. That makes it difficult. So you know Roy and Becky's travels. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think who else we know that we got in common.
Well, I've been trying to keep up with all of them, but I can't exactly watch everybody's channel. But I have every I didn't. Sometimes I get on Roy and Becky's deal, and I don't even comment. I just watch it,
Yeah,
just to watch the whole thing.
you
Yeah,
don't comment. You just
yeah.
watch them. Yeah, I do that too because I'm you know, part of everybody. You know, part of everybody's channel. I'm subscribed to so many people. Hello, baby.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up. I would have to be up like Kenny 24 hours a day and have my computer and and two tablets and my phone and everything running all at the same time. And then I'd never get no work done.
I don't see how Kenny does it.
Well, he don't have to work and he doesn't sleep that long.
But he goes to school.
Not anymore. He
He
graduated.
graduated.
Yeah, he graduated back in, I want to say June. It's almost been a year.
I knew he was getting close to being done.
Yeah, no, he did really well. He passed all his exams and everything. Yeah, he did real good. Then he tried looking for a job, and all the places wanted him to have a couple of years experience. And where do you get experience if people don't hire you with no experience?
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, they won't even hire him down at the local burger joint. You know. I feel bad for him. They wouldn't even let him bag groceries.
That's not right.
No, they should let him sack groceries at least a couple hours a week. Give him something to do.
You know, there's a law against that.
I know, but you know, you live in Oklahoma and he lives in Tennessee, and you know how the good old boys in the backwoods are. It's like they make up their own rules. I swear, there's so much difference between that and the big cities. The big
I don't
cities,
even
they
live
don't
in
dare
a,
to
I don't
discriminate.
even live in a city. I live out in the country.
Right, I live in the country too,
Um,
but they seem to get away with, uh, you know, breaking laws, and everybody looks the other way.
I know in Oklahoma, they made a law. It's called the Disability Act, where uh, you can't go against, uh, like they can't discriminate against you when hiring, during the hiring process, or even on a job.
Right,
So,
that's how it is here.
of course, where do you are you in Tennessee too?
No, I'm in Texas.
Texas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
out out in the country in the ranches,
Yeah.
like the desert part of. We're out in the desert, actually.
There's desert in Texas.
Yeah, there's desert out here.
That's kind of like Western Oklahoma, up in the Panhandle and right around that area. That the rain is so it's got a drought out there,
Yeah,
and
we have a drought too. I'm trying to see what my dog's into. Into trouble.
the my niece she's moving to Texas and down on the uh down by Galveston.
Oh, okay. I used to live south of Galveston, in Corpus Christi.
Yeah, so
That's south of Galveston. Um, I live between San Antonio and Laredo, right on right almost on the Mexican border, but not the southern border, the western border. Like if you go west in Texas, you end up in Mexico. If you go
wow,
too far south, you end up in Mexico. If you're up in the Panhandle, you go over to New Mexico and Arizona.
yeah, she's
So that's, we're like halfway down in the middle, but all the way over to the west. And it's all like a section of desert right there.
so is it is like one, like if you was to go to East Texas, Louisiana line, would it be like 700, 800 miles?
Right. And
Yeah.
the landscape is different. It's like if we go far enough north, there's big trees and rivers and grass and stuff. And then you go over heading over to North Texas, you're out into Louisiana and the swamps and that's all forested. But south of Galveston down to Corpus Christi down to Brownsville is all like beach and humidity. And then
I had a friend. She's passed away now, but she grew up. One of her parents lived in Brownsville and one lived in Bowman, and and basically she grew up around that area, and more so in Bowman than Brownsville. But she's passed away now. And I also had a friend. She moved. She used to live in a town called Green, Texas. Basically, it's on the Louisiana Texas border. And so,
my daughter just came home, so the dogs are barking. Hi, Meg. Welcome in everybody from Rondarrow's Ridge. Yeah, I know where all those places you said talked about. Beaumont and Brownsville. My son's over near Brownsville, way down on the Mexican border down the south.
yeah. But I live in northeast Oklahoma, down in that area. See about the arc. See Roland. If you know where Roland is, it's about a 2-hour drive from here. Just taking the turnpike.
Right.
So,
Well, jumped up to 5 people. I was going to do trivia, but that's okay. We can just keep chatting. I didn't know what to do tonight. Meg, how have you been? Why don't you come up, Meg? The link's in the chat. Want me to put it up again? Hi, Destination Delight. Do you want to come up? Anybody want to come up? Crystal, Meg, Kenny.
is Meg your daughter?
No, Meg is a friend of mine.
I seen her in Kenny's chat too.
Yeah, she would be. She used to be Meg W. Now she's just Meg. If you probably, if you weren't watching YouTube a lot, you didn't see the Helping Hands for Cruising Telethon or Cruisathon.
When I jumped on whose chat was it? Danny's chat. Kenny was there, and I was asking how what that was, and he told me, but I didn't. They said something about it was going to help somebody with disabilities, and
Yeah, we're trying to get enough money up to have another recipient for our next cruise. I guess the next cruise they've already figured out it's going to be out of England, Britain. Good night, Roy.
Good night, Roy.
Night, Roy.
Hi.
Good night.
but yeah, I live outside of I don't even know how big. It's a small town, but I'm not sure how many people live in it. But there's, if you went into town, it's about 6 miles from my place to town.
We have one stoplight and like 2 stop signs. If that, and a railroad crossing. I think one of the stop signs is a railroad crossing.
Well, it's not like that. Although I have lived in a town like that before.
I think we're a little over 1,000. Oh, you're not leaving, Roy. Sorry.
Oh.
Before we moved to Oklahoma, we lived in a little town. It's like a hole in the road. It wasn't even a paved highway that went through there. It was a gravel highway, and on one side of the road there was a post office, and on the other side of the road there was a little gas station with a restaurant in it, and that was it. That was the whole town.
Right.
It wouldn't it and when you went to school or grocery store or anything, you went to the next town that was bigger. But since then they have paved the highway and tore down the house my cousin lived in and done a bunch of stuff like that. And that was long time ago. I've lived in Oklahoma just about all my life, but not quite, because it was except for that time we lived in Arkansas, I lived in Oklahoma.
Cool.
My sissy, she started school there, and she had to go to the next town to start school because there wasn't a school there. There was only those three places. That little gas station that was connected to the convenience store and the post office. That was the whole town in itself. It didn't have nothing else.
Wow.
Didn't have schools, hospitals, nothing. And if you was going down that highway, and it was a highway, but it was a gravel highway,
Right.
and if you wasn't paying attention, you would have missed it.
Don't blink or you'll miss the stop sign. Or even if there is a stop sign.
There wasn't even a stop sign in the town. It was just a hole in the road.
I lived in a town that it had the general store, and then hooked onto the general store is the post office, and the sheriff, and I think a diner across the street. That was it. And it were all 4 buildings like in this one spot. And that was the whole downtown. You just right through. You didn't even know you were there.
Yeah.
But it was a big town. Like the outskirts were way out. But the downtown was just like a little slip of a thing.
Yeah, all the people who lived on in that town were actually lived out in the boonies. Because it was a gravel road, and it was basically like a country road, gravel going down, trees on one side, trees on the other.
What are you eating, Kenny?
Having in his mouth.
Frosted Flakes.
Kenny's always eating something.
I had a peanut butter sandwich for dinner, and now I'm hungry, and you're over there.
That's at Harvey's, Harvey Mahomes Frosted Flakes cereal that I did taste test on the other day.
Taste test you did.
Yeah.
So how'd it go over at Roy's? Ron's, I
You
mean.
mean Ron Darrell's?
Yeah.
It went good. Again, he went over for 3 hours.
I know. I'm like, he's going, I wanna quit at 2. I wanna quit at 2 hours. So I set it up so he can quit at 2. And it's like, hi, I'm by myself here. Hi, I'm talking to myself here. I wonder where everybody is. And Lynn was nice enough to come up. William was here for a bit, but he had to run out.
So
I was fixing to get off. I was fixing to get off the phone, and I seen some. I seen something, and on the YouTube thing. I thought, and I had set the reminder thingamajig, and it popped up because I had forgot I even did it, and it popped up. It's like, okay, because I had just got the phone with my uncle.
Well, that's cool. I'm
So-
glad you came. Crystal, yeah.
So the answer to your question, what am I doing after the cruise?
Yeah.
I have to leave that day to come back home
Oh,
because I had to set up arrangements. I'm the only one going out of our family. So my mother-in-law is coming to my house to stay to make sure like my daughter gets fed in the evening and things like that because my husband works afternoons. Not that she couldn't do it. I just don't want her to be home here alone at night.
I don't. Was she 17?
No, she'll be 16.
Oh, yeah. No, because it's weirdos.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I
we
trust
all.
where I live. I mean, I don't know the neighborhood all that well.
Right. You're better off having your mother-in-law be there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
babysat at 12 years old.
She don't like kids.
But like, no, I mean, as far as being left alone, being left alone, and there's being left alone with children. And it's
Right.
like, we thought nothing of it. We didn't even lock our doors. I mean, we just thought nothing of it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, even with locked doors, you don't leave your kids.
Right. No. And she wanted to go with me on the cruise, and I probably could have took her if I would have asked Janice if she would have mind a third bunker. Then we could have got a little bigger of cabin and just had 3 of us in our room. But then I would have had to have gotten her vaccinated, and she's not vaccinated. So,
Yeah, we're not yet either. We're waiting until the last minute.
there's like a lot that goes behind it, and
Me too. My doctor said not for me not to get vaccinated. I'm going against their rules. My immune system is so bad.
I think you can cruise without it. You have to have the slip though.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it. Hang on 1 minute.
Yep.
This is good.
My daughter just worked like a double and then did inventory, and then she's got to get up early again tomorrow. And she's crankier than cranky. And I says, I'm not cranky.
Maggie, it's not so much that I wouldn't mind bringing her. It's that I just don't know if I could afford to bring her because it's like an extra $300 for her to bunk with us, plus her $400 flight to go down. And it's right at school time. So that means she'd miss a whole week of school. Trust me, that's why during the summertime, we go from the time school gets out to the time school starts back up. Last year was our first summer. We didn't get to go anywhere because she was so dedicated to football.
Well, that's good. She needs to keep her mind on school for now. There'll be plenty more times she can go.
Oh, yeah. Plus,
Catherine,
Penny knows I travel with them all the time.
Catherine asks, do you have cabins with a view or a deck? I know that Kenny has a porthole, right? Kenny, you got a window?
I actually got a Lido deck, yeah.
He has a balcony, I think, don't you?
I don't think so.
Well, I got the Lido deck. I got the...
Oh, he's got a window. He's got a window. Yeah, you're right.
He's got a window. We do an inside cabin because basically we stay out until we're ready to crash.
Yeah.
And we come back in to go to sleep, and then we jump up in the morning, take our shower, throw our makeup on, throw our clothes on, run the heck out the door. Why pay extra?
Right. So I'm on, what floor are you on?
Okay.
Kenny, you're
I would like
on.
to go to the states that I haven't been to.
Kenny, you're on the Lido deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Lorraine, what floor are you on?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know, but I haven't looked.
Like I'm on the first floor, and we have a deluxe room so it's got 2 bathrooms in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I told Cindy, get me the cheapest, junkiest room you can find. But not near
We are 4C interior.
4C interior. Becky just looked it up for me. But not near the engine.
You're
That's
on
what I told her.
You're on the fourth floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? The closer you are to the water, the less you go like this.
Well, I get really bad seasickness, so I have to be lower.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the upper decks. This is the very first time I've ever been on the very first floor. Normally I'm like deck 5 and higher. So I'm hoping that I don't get seasickness that bad.
I don't think you will, because the lower you go, the less you have to deal with.
Yeah. And we have a huge port side window that has like, you could crawl up in the window and sit. So it'll be
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. They on the Disney cruise ships, they have these big oval windows, and they put a cushion. They get a cushion in it, and you just lay there, look out the window, and read a book. I just hope the bowls, there should be right near somewhere. I don't. Yeah. Sorry.
You're fine. So I'm excited. I'm excited about going and hanging out and meeting everybody. And I'm actually coming in a day early. So our cruise ship doesn't go out till the 15th. I'm coming in on the 13th.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be there.
So you're coming even before the
meetup.
The meetup. Yeah, we're coming in early on the 14th. Early.
I couldn't get a flight out. That was a straight through flight to come in early on the 14th.
What meetup are y'all going to?
What happens with us is we fly Southwest Air because it's cheaper and the baggage is free, and they treat me good and they don't ruin my wheelchairs. And I'm bringing both my wheelchairs, one for Kenny to use. So
yeah.
What I did is they were going to rent Kenny a scooter.
Uh-huh.
And if you've ever been on a cruise ship, a scooter, people jump in front of you anyway. And cruise ships are crowded. And I just could see Kenny like racking people up on the nose of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He comes out of the small elevator and then just plows people over. And no offense, but Kenny's used to a walker, and he kind of,
Right.
I'm not criticizing you, Kenny. I'm just saying I've had more than 20 years experience with electric wheelchairs and stuff, and I still run people over. Still, to this day, I still run people over. And on a cruise ship, the hallways and the elevators and the access ways are real tiny. So I said to Sean, I talked to Kenny and then I talked to Sean. I said, I have a manual wheelchair and I have my electric wheelchair. Instead of renting him a scooter, why don't we save that money and put it back into the fund for the next recipient? And I'll just bring both my wheelchairs, and then we'll let Kenny see which one he's more comfortable with. Because he needs a wheelchair he thought he could walk through Disney with his walker too. And I'm like, no, the crowds.
Oh, Kenny, yeah, you would want
and the amount of walking you got to do, and people are up looking on their phone. Their kids are climbing. You'll have kids under your walker. You'll fall. You're gonna get hurt.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why I have my channel. People are like, well, what's your channel about? It's about being disabled and trying to deal with doing normal things, everyday life. And Everything I say is to be helpful. It's never mean. It's never vicious. It's the truth. It's
Right.
the bottom line. The dirt. People are buttholes. They got their phones up their noses. They don't give a crap. I had a guy take his kids, rented a stroller, a double stroller at Disney. Put all his crap in the stroller. I don't even know if he had kids. And then when we went to cross across, there was people going this way, and we had a reservation at a restaurant right in front of us. We went to, and I normally don't dish on Disney, but we were just wanted to cross the street. And the crew member, and I'm gonna forget, because when I get stressed out, I forget the name. The cast member said, yeah, go ahead. And she put her arms out to block everybody, to stop everybody. Well, this 6'2", 200 and something Neanderthal of a guy is like, we're going this way. How dare you cut us off? And he popped a wheelie with that double stroller and drove it over my electric chair, over my legs and my stomach. And he goes, these fat ass hussies, horses or blubber whales who just jump in a wheelchair so that they can get around and not have to walk. Well, I grabbed him by the butt of his jeans and threw him on the ground in front of the cameras and in front of the cast member and said, look, buddy, I have MS. I have had 2 strokes and a heart attack. You don't want to run the freaking person over, and I hope they throw me out because I'm taking your butt to court.
Wow.
I said, you don't take no stroller and drive it over a handicapped person. You know what the fine is for hurting a handicapped person? It's way more than hurt. And I'm elderly. Besides, I was like, oh,
Right.
and I never lose my cool in Disney. Disney's my happy place.
Right.
And
where is that YouTube meetup that you're going to?
Miami, Florida. We're going, there's a meetup on the 14th and our cruise starts on the 15th for 8 days. And we're
well,
going
you know,
to
Catherine Dottie,
Aruba, Bonaire,
Bonaire,
La Romana,
La
and
Romana.
Amber
You know
Cove.
what? Let me run the clip. I'm gonna eat my oatmeal.
Okay.
I'll run the clip for everybody. Hang on. I gotta get there. go?
Yeah. It's some pretty exciting stuff. And Meg, I really wish you could go with us, but I understand.
Well, oh, Meg, you're not going. Why did that just dawn on me that she's not going?
Well, she's coming to the meetup,
Right,
but
right.
she can't come to that. I think it has something to do with vacation time.
Maybe she started. Did you start a new job, Meg, and you can't get off until then? I don't know.
Well, guys, I hate to run, but I have to go to bed because I have a doctor's appointment at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, I will come. I'll come in tomorrow if you're going to be on.
That'll be awesome. Maybe I'll get to the trivia by then.
Yeah, and doesn't Down Under Cruisers go live tomorrow night too?
Yeah.
At 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, at 10, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Well, nice to see everybody. Everybody have a great night. Kenny, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
See you later.
I actually
Yeah.
got to go out and pay bills today, so I'll be out all day.
I hear you, kiddo. I hear you. All right. Bye, guys.
And then there were 3.
Yeah, I'll be. Can you space us out a little bit to where we're not so? There we go.
Yeah, we've gotten there, Kenny.
I know.
We're not as fast as you are.
I understand. No worries.
So what happened with that gentleman is he got kicked out. It was all on tape. And I'm not going to say that they rewarded me, but they didn't kick me out.
Oh,
I did get apologies from Disney. No one deserves to be treated like garbage.
Roy, how's Becky doing?
My daughter, Becky? Or Roy and Becky?
Roy, how Becky's doing. Yeah, Roy and Becky's travels. I was wondering how she was doing. I didn't get to catch the live yesterday. Cause I sure.
Yeah, this is not a good. Most sane people are asleep right now. It's only me and Kenny and all us insomniacs, and the people over in the other side of the world. Have you seen Loves You, Kenny? Is Loves You been around?
Yeah, I've seen her in a couple of lives. Of course, you know,
They come to a lot more.
it's afternoon over there, and they're in their Friday afternoon.
Good night, Meg. Thank you for coming,
That's
hon.
Kenny?
Loves You from the Philippines.
Yeah.
She's really supportive in the YouTube community.
She's such a nice person. We're lucky. We got a lot of people from overseas that are just wonderful, wonderful supporters, and they're creators themselves, and it's a great group.
Be very honest, she speaks very good English.
Oh yeah, I have no trouble understanding her. No trouble at all.
Bye, Meg.
Good night,
Bye,
Madison. So yeah, I was going to do some Disney trivia. Does anybody want to do that, or why don't we just talk? I'm eating
Yeah. So what are you eating?
oatmeal. I get the instant oatmeal packages, and I get the apple cinnamon, and then the maple spice or the brown sugar.
Maple brown sugar.
Maple and brown
What you
sugar.
talking about? Maple brown sugar.
That's the spice one. I don't know.
Cinnamon spice.
Cinnamon spice, my daughter says. She eats the maple brown sugar one.
I like the maple brown sugar ones.
Brown sugar is too sweet for mom.
Yeah, maple brown sugar is too sweet for mom, Becky's yelling from her bedroom. Or calling from her bedroom.
You have a daughter named Meg?
Becky. Rebecca.
Oh, you have a daughter named Becky. Oh.
She's this is her channel too. We have this channel together. But she works a lot and I'm disabled and a homebody, so I tend to run all the lives and stuff. But if you look back at some of our prior videos, she's in a lot. She's like the little star and everything. She's 29 years old. She's a little older than Kenny. She's my youngest.
But she's
She's
not much
4 years older than my son.
What, Ken?
I said she's not much older than I am, though.
No, not much. Not much at all.
Yeah, she's 4 years older than my son.
My oldest daughter is 40 years old. My son is 30 years old, and then Rebecca's 29. I was told I couldn't have more children after my oldest daughter.
Well, I'm a little older than your oldest daughter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my daughter was born in 82. Oh. What you doing now, Ken?
Just on Facebook.
My Bubba, who is my younger brother, he's a year older than your oldest daughter.
Cool. So I was trying to think of what else I needed to ask you about, Kenny, for the cruise or Disney or anything.
Is that traveling WSA?
Yeah.
What's
Traveling,
the W for?
And the WSA is with special abilities. So it's traveling with special abilities.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So instead of calling it disabilities, we call it abilities. Special ability.
I haven't thought about it.
Well, like superheroes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
But then I really don't really think about it. You know, I just like to see for people who they are.
Right. So many people. Well, I've lived in big cities and stuff, and I was a school teacher. I did all kinds of things, and people would point out my disabilities all the time. And some disabilities are so obvious that people make fun of you. If you look different, you act different, you got, deformities or whatever, people just love to point and make fun of you. So why put the dis part in disabilities? Why not call them special abilities? Because it takes a special type of person to live with that kind of burden. It takes a special person to go out in public. And it takes a special person to be able to be loving of humanity, even though humanity makes fun of them.
So true.
So why not? Why aren't we superheroes? It takes the heart of a superhero to go through half the crap we go through. And I'm not just talking about disabilities of the body. I'm talking about mental illness and suicidal thoughts or any kind of disability. You got some hair out of place, people are going to make fun of you. You know what I mean? If you don't wear the same fashions as everybody else, they make fun of you. So many people are so critical of others. We all need to just love and get along with everybody else. What the heck are we fighting for? Why do people fight? Why can't they just get along? You know, it's greed and insecurities and stuff like that. If we didn't have greed and insecurities, this world would be so much better. You know?
Yeah.
I just don't. I grew up not understanding how people could be that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can you hate someone because their skin tone is darker than yours or lighter than yours or a different color than yours? How
Yeah.
boring would it be if we were all the same color and had all the same eye color and all the same features and all the same body type?
That would be boring.
How would you know the difference between you and someone else?
Yeah. Of course,
You know?
I have a nephew who is half black and half Caucasian.
Right.
And, you know, so I really never, I mean,
You see him
and
as a
then
child.
I have like friends that are black, and you really, when you look at somebody, you really shouldn't be looking at skin color. You should be looking at their heart, you know.
Yeah, they're either good people at heart or they're bad people at heart.
Yeah.
There's good and bad in every race, creed, color. It's good and bad in no matter whether you're rich or poor. There's good and bad people everywhere and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you look at a field of flowers, they're all different colors, and pick out one that's better than the other? They're all beautiful. They're all flowers. Yeah. We're all human beings. We're all flowers. We're all different colors. We're all beautiful.
I was telling my papa the other day, I have like over that way, I have out in the yard, I have like they're like natural grown weeds, but even weeds are pretty because, you know,
most weeds
they're
have
natural.
Most weeds have medicinal properties.
I mean, and they're natural. I mean, and you can only be naturally you,
Right.
And because you don't want to be somebody else when you can be naturally yourself, and nobody else can be naturally you. That'd be simple.
Right. And none of us are perfect, so.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. Only one person was perfect.
I don't want to meet someone who's perfect, because then all they're going to do is see all your faults.
There was only one person who was perfect, and that's Jesus Christ. You know, and I'll meet him someday.
And he saw no fault in anyone, so.
Yeah.
So, Kenny.
Yes.
You think you got everything you need for the cruise and for The Disney trip?
I reckon.
I got a question for you. How can you be dressed up as Mickey Mouse when Mickey Mouse wears shorts?
Well, I'm
Well,
sure.
he does wear pants, but I guess black pants. But most of the time he wears shorts.
Well, I'll be wearing, I guess, long breeches or something.
Yeah, we'll get you a red shirt and long breeches and big buttons to put on the ends of your suspenders, so you have the big Mickey Mouse buttons with the suspenders. And then
Yeah.
we'll get your ears.
Cause, like I said, I don't wear shorts, so.
I was just picking on you. He wears pants sometimes. I got pictures of him in pants. I'm just joshing you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, take care. Bye.
Well, welcome up anytime you see we're here. It was nice
Alrighty.
getting to know you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Well, she's nice.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I'm so quiet compared to what goes on over at Ron's.
Yeah. Well, I think we should at least go and count some sleep, because
Are you ready to go to bed?
I gotta be up here in a couple hours just to go pay bills here.
Yeah, that's what Becky was saying. She's got to get up early and go get rent. Yeah, we can end it here. I've been up for 2 hours. My little ticker says 2 hours.
And we don't want to keep Becky up. We want her to be able to get some sleep.
That's Roy. I think Becky's sleeping.
Well, I'm talking about your Becky.
Oh, she's.
Huh?
Don't want to keep my Becky up either. No. All right. Well, then I'll say goodnight. Good night, Pa.
Well, I need, here in a little bit, I'm going to go get in the shower and stuff.
Well, that's why I said I'm going to try to get you up at 9 o'clock so you get cleaned up.
Yeah.
So we
Good
got
idea. All right, then.
But, good night, everybody.
I'll catch up with you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for showing up, and maybe we'll get to trivia.
Yeah. I'll still take my internet with me tomorrow and still follow y'all around the YouTube, especially in the raid parade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Bye,
I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Pa.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, Lord, I got to go back to sleep.